What's up, you guys? Finally got around to fixing the old electric bike. Guess I'm ready to go join. You know what? You ever get an electric bike and it has one of these little kickstands in the back that folds down? Don't do it, just buy a kickstand. There's something exciting about unzipping. All right, so since we've had this little lull lately, I figure it gives me an opportunity to finally make a video for some of you who have been asking me about my equipment that I shoot surfing with. This is just what I use. This isn't the perfect setup. This isn't what you need to have in order to get great videos or photos or whatever it may be. It's just what I happen to use and what I've bought throughout the years and works really well for me. I started off about 14 years ago shooting photos, and then I slowly kind of started to convert into video. I enjoy the editing side of video, and so now I basically only shoot video. This is the Canon 400 2.8, my favorite lens to shoot with. It is huge, it is heavy, it's all glass in there. By far the sharpest lens I've ever shot with. It's insane. The length of being at 400, you get to really pull a lot of depth off that. So if you're shooting somewhere where there's a jetty or something in the background, you're actually bringing that field of depth in and really compressing that image. It just gives it such a crisp look. So 400 2.8 is a must for me to have in my bag. Lens number two that I still use, I use the 400 most, but if I'm, let's say, shooting the wedge straight on where that wave is breaking super close, the 400 is going to be way too tight. It's going to be like a headshot on the surfer. So when I need to back it up, I bring out the 70 to 200. This is a great lens. This is a 2.8. A lot of glass in there to keep you tack sharp. 2.8, just like with the 400, 2.8 allows you to shoot in bad light. If you're there at dawn or even after sunset, crank that thing to 2.8 and you'll be fine. This is a great all-around lens as well. If you're shooting like headshots, you're shooting a little B-roll around the beach, this guy's going to be a great lens to use to go along with that 400. The OG lens. This is one of my original lenses I ever had to shoot surf with. It is the 75 to 300. Not the sharpest lens that Canon makes, but you know what? For that starter, the guy who's just starting out, not a lot of money, you're just trying to put things together to get enough of a rig together to shoot surf, 75 to 300. When I first started off, I had a Canon 7D, then I moved into a 70D, and then I moved into a Blackmagic Ursa, which has gotta be the heaviest brick of a video camera you've ever seen. The thing was a nightmare. I had a wagon. I was toting this thing around with me. It was crazy. And then I moved into what I have now. This is the Canon 1DX Mark II. Fun body, man, you can drop this thing, you can get it wet. You can't obviously submerge it, but you know, if you get mist on it from the ocean, etc., this guy's gonna run with you. This has been through more ugly situations of having sand tossed into it, water sprayed onto it. The thing keeps going. I also love that it'll shoot 4K 60, 4K 29.9, 4K 24, and it'll also go 1080 at 120 frames per second, giving you that slow motion, buttery look. Comes out of the camera when you're shooting at 1080, 120 comes out in slow motion. Very easy to edit if you don't like to do a lot of editing in Final Cut or whatever it is that you're using. One of the most important things you could have is a huge card. And it needs to write fast because you're writing these huge files onto a card. Because you figure one clip shooting at Malibu, guys on the way for a minute long, that's a large file. You get 3 hours of that, you're gonna fill these cards and go up through these cards really quick. Here's my body, the 1DX. Now mirrorless has come around. I haven't made the switch yet. Canon is coming out with the R3, and I think that might be what I eventually go to as far as mirrorless. You need to have some stable legs. Not those legs, the tripod legs. I have the Manfrottos, and these guys I can actually put all my weight on and it won't buckle, right? And I need it to be stable when I'm shooting video, especially because I'm going to be panning any kind of motion or movement. Remember, I'm not shooting on concrete. I'm not shooting on streets. I'm in the sand. The other thing is that I have a leveling head, which means obviously being in sand, you're not always level. And so once I put the legs into the sand, I can look, it's got a little level right there on there. I can tell where it is. I just unlock the head, straighten that out, make sure I'm locked, and I'm gold. I know I'm even with the horizon. A little side tip for those of you who are just starting to shoot, whether it's photos, video, make sure that horizon's straight. That's your number one thing to start off with. I also have a spreader on my legs, and that's weird when you use the word spreader and legs. This is going in the far wrong direction, Brad. Let's keep it straight. But for reals, it is called the spreader. And what that'll do is it stabilizes your legs from not sliding out, especially once again, when you're in sand. You're shooting the water a lot. Had a little housing here. Just drop the camera inside the housing, fire away. Fortunately, I don't really get around into the water that much. So when I do though, I use the brother-sister combination. Boom, GoPro, boom, GoPro Max. These are great. The image quality that comes out of these things now is absolutely insane. All my content ends up, obviously, as you know, here on YouTube. The quality is perfect for getting those video clips. This guy, 360 camera, can shoot it. Virtual reality, basically give you that experience of what it's like to be in there. Check out Robbie Crawford's Instagram page. He does some insane stuff with that Max. You can do some really creative stuff with this guy. And obviously the GoPro. This one's the older model. This is the 7. But the brother-sister combo, GoPros. It's always good to have them around. Other things that I do use a DJI drone. I have the Mini. It's great. It's super small. I mean, look how compact that is, right? I could take it out, throw it up in the air to grab some quick B-roll. Not the highest quality, but for what I use, it does the job. All right, so there you have it. That's everything that I use when I shoot surfing. Feel free to comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Like I said, this isn't exact. This is just what I happen to use. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. I'm going to try to answer them for you. If there's anything you have about different lenses, etc. There's a lot of different options out there. The lens that I use, that Canon 400, is a very expensive lenses. There are some other brands out there like Sigma and Tokina. I may be testing some lenses coming up here pretty soon. You can also comment and let me know if you want me to try a certain camera or a certain lens, see how it looks. I'll go out there, we'll grab a couple surfers, head out and see what kind of stuff we can get with that combination as well. As usual, I'm Brad Jacobson. Thank you for watching. And if you see me on the sand, come up and say hello. I'd be more than glad to chat with you right there. Have a great day.